The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths. The deception of deceptions. La mentira de las mentiras for those who prefer Espanol. Or as fake gangster Ja Morant would say, the cap of caps. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism. Of course, the vast majority of her followers are bots and lonely men, most of which are not buying tickets or watching her games on television because they can't afford the 5 pesos a month to watch the Chicago Bravado on WNBA League Pass. Headline at Forbes from April of this year: how Angel Reese and AJ Wilson lead the WNBA's growth. I'm sure you noticed the glaring omission in that headline. According to Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces. And if you don't believe Forbes, if you don't believe the mainstream media, which most normal people don't because they don't have any credibility, if you aren't willing to bite into the shit sandwich that the media is serving, just listen to Angel Reese. She will proudly tell you that she is the reason people are watching pretend basketball. Watch for yourself.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
According to Barbie, she is the reason people are watching the WNBA. She is the reason that people are paying $16 to watch the Chicago Bravado play the Phoenix Masculines later today. What a matchup. The Bravado versus the Masculines. Hopefully, this game is a part of the Commissioner's Cup. Maybe the winner will receive a complimentary supply of Just for Men. If so, it'll be the only thing the Bravado win this season because they're damn sure not winning games. Recently, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she announced that voting was now open for the WNBA All-Star Game. Those of you who are here undocumented, you don't have to worry. Identification is not required to vote for your favorite dump diver, mainly because 99% of the players on this list are unable to be identified themselves. If you look at the list of available players, it looks like a missing persons report. Kate Martin, Brenda Sykes, Kaylee Thornton. These women were last seen playing pretend basketball inside of an empty gym. If you have crossed paths with one of these ladies, please call social worker Shanice. In the NBA, automated machines are required to count the votes. The NBA receives millions upon millions of votes for the All-Star Game. Matter of fact, there are more people who vote for NBA All-Stars than people who actually watch the game. But in the WNBA, outside of Caitlin Clark, all you need is a hand to count the votes. Every once in a while, there might be a surge of votes come in for a player and they'll be counted by the dozens. But for the most part, WNBA players will have more turnovers in a game than actual votes for the All-Star Game. With this being the All-Star Game and Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you would like to vote for the WNBA All-Star Game, link is in the description below. I would encourage you to vote for Caitlin Clark as well as her teammates. Sophie Cunningham, Lexington Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Kel Mitchell. I'd also encourage you to vote for Camila Cardosa, who is the real star of the Chicago Bravado. She doesn't receive the recognition that she deserves because the media is too busy obsessing over Angel Reese. But either way, if you want to vote, link in the description below. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has received the most votes for the All-Star Game. To be honest with you, they should be calling this the Caitlin Clark Game, because the Rue from Waterloo is the only real star on the court. As of the recording of this video, Caitlin Clark has received around 516,000 votes. If you converted 516,000 pesos to dollars, it would be around $27,000, or as the average WNBA player would call it, career earnings. Number 2 on the list, Nafisha Collier. Well, Casey, who in the hell is Nafisha Collier? I actually have a lot of respect for Nafisha Collier. Like the rest of us, she got tired of the constant complaining in the WNBA dump. She got tired of listening to entitled players complain about their generous bi-weekly donations from the NBA. Instead of pouring fuel on the flaming ass fire, Nafisha Collier, she decided to do something about it. She contacted Breanna Stewart, one of the veteran players on the New York Equality, and they came together with a brilliant idea. Hey there, Bree, it's me, Nafisha C. Since no one is watching us in the dump, let's launch a secondary dump. We'll call it Unrivaled. It's the perfect name because the low quality of basketball we will offer is unrivaled anywhere in the world. All kidding aside, I have a lot of respect for Nafisha Collier and Breanna Stewart for doing this. I respect their drive, their ambition. It is not easy to start a business, especially when we're talking about a business that does not feel a specific need, a business that's destined for huge embarrassing failure. If you can't get people to watch the WNBA during the summer when there is minimal competition, what the hell makes you think people are going to watch pretend basketball when you're competing with the NFL and the NBA? As predicted here on the channel, Unrivaled was a huge embarrassing failure, but Nafisha Collier is number 2 in All-Star votes, so at least she is succeeding at something. Number 3 on the list, Aaliyah Boston, followed by AJ Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Paige Bueckers is number 6, which I thought was rather surprising. 3 months ago, Paige Bueckers was the only star in women's basketball not named Caitlin Clark. She entered the WNBA dump with a massive amount of mainstream notoriety, but as soon as she put on the hard hat, as soon as she was sized for the steel-toed boots, the second she took off the UConn jersey and exchanged it for the Dallas Wankers, Paige Bueckers seems to have disappeared, which makes you wonder, was Paige the mainstream draw, or was UConn the mainstream draw? Okay, so we are 6 players down the list, and I've yet to see the name Angel Reese, or one of her dozens of aliases. I haven't seen Bayou Barbie, I haven't seen Me Bounds, Queen, Social Media Princess, but I'm sure we will see Angel Reese on the list very soon, right? 7, 8, 9 on the list are Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and Lexington Hull. The following 3 are Kiki Arayafin, Kelsey the Plumber, and Satu Sabali. Who, and who? You mean to tell me these unknowns are ranked ahead of the face of the league? I know Kelsey the Plumber has made a name for herself as the face of Roto-Rooter. I know the commercial is catchy. You gotta take a poo, but the toilet's overused. Call Kelsey at Roto-Roo. I know Kelsey Plum is likable. She's a lovely lady, but you mean to tell me she's more popular than Angel Reese? The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes. Aaliyah Boston, who most people have never heard of, has received 447,000 votes. Now, in defense of Angel Reese, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this. I'm sure there's someone to blame. Obviously, it's not her fault. Maybe there is missing ballots that haven't been counted. Maybe those evil white people are casting multiple ballots for Caitlin Clark and her entire team. Yeah. I bet that's it. I bet white people have developed a code that automatically votes for Caitlin Clark and her teammates every second. Or maybe, just maybe, these numbers are 100% accurate, and Angel Reese is the 13th most popular player in the WNBA. This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star Game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game. However, there is a silver lining for Angel Reese. The votes we are seeing now are from Caitlin Clark fans. Now, the WNBA is claiming them as their own fans, but as you guys know, WNBA fans do not exist. The vast majority of these votes are coming from Caitlin Clark fans. Once voting is closed, they'll account for 50% of the vote. Who's the other 50%? 25% will be WNBA players, and the other 25%, the mainstream media. If I had to guess, this contingent of 50%, they will boost Angel Reese into the top 5. I'm sure Angel Reese will celebrate. I'm sure she will brag about being the most popular player in the WNBA. But if that happens, it's not going to do her any favors because the people have already spoken. Again, it is the same message over and over. Yet for some reason, Angel Reese and her pretend friends in the mainstream media, they haven't been able to translate the message. So Uncle KC will translate it for them. Angel Reese is not a draw. Give me your thoughts on this. Angel Reese fails to make the top 10 in WNBA All-Star voting. Will her colleagues and her pretend friends in the media push her into the top 5? Should Angel Reese be a starter in the All-Star Game? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.